The show is about the fans, for the fans.
As a youngster and as you get older, if you have the base and the fundamental.
How's it going? Tatham here. I'm just finished up training now.
We got back probably at the age of 3 and we're passing a rugby ball. About 12 seasons of Premier Club cricket.
It's been a fantastic season so far for us as the Dolphins. A really good season so far. We've got good momentum in this one-day competition.
Really performing well, bowlers, batters and fielders.
Training camp is really good. Guys are really focused.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Leading Edge with me, your host, Nick Tatham. It's a cold one in KZN, that's for damn sure. Durban, not too bad, but I hope you guys are all wrapped up nice and warm. We got two more guests joining me this evening. One's a newcomer, one's been with us for a while, a coach and a player. One's just won a number of awards at the CSA Awards and is going to be a massive asset to KZN cricket and the Hollywood Bets Dolphins in years to come. But the first man up this evening, he is the current Hollywood Bets Dolphins fielding coach. He's also been at the helm of the academy as well as our cult side. Duzi Mbata. Duzi, thank you so much for joining me. I hope everything is well with you. Unfortunately, Duzi's having a bit of issues with his audio. So we're going to jump right in again with our second guest, a man who's just joined the Hollywood Bets Dolphins from up north, from Northerns, Ron de Swart. Ron, welcome and thank you for joining me.
Nick, thanks so much for having me.
How's everything going? I know that this must be very different to your Pretoria winters. You must be enjoying it.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's been a really good one. Really enjoyed it. Didn't even have to take out the winter clothing, so it's been nice because it's pretty cold up there in Pretoria. So it's a breath of fresh air coming this side.
Well, we down here are finding this incredibly cold, so you must be the one that's enjoying it. So, Ron, you've been down here for a couple of weeks. Duzi, we've got you with us. I don't know whether you can hear me there, Duzi. No, you can't. So, Ron, we'll just carry on. I know that last season was a big season for you for Northerns, and that it culminated in 2 awards at the CSA Awards. Just talk me through last season for you. Didn't necessarily get a franchise chance, but is it a case now of coming down to the Dolphins and using this opportunity?
Yeah, no, definitely. So with my season last season, I just said that I just want to perform the best that I could. Never know who's watching, and I actually didn't even think that the Dolphins even looked at me to sign me. So I just said that I'm going to take last season, just play out of my skin and make sure that I'm prepared for everything. And then coming to the Dolphins, I think it would be one of the best moves that I probably made in my career. I feel like the culture at the Dolphins is really, really good, and the brand of cricket that they play is a type of cricket that I actually play, and I think it'll just speed up my career as well, playing for the Dolphins and just wanting to go into higher honors as well. I think it's a really up and coming franchise at the moment, and you can see that things are clicking well, and the side that we have at the moment is a very useful side. So for the next 5 years, we'll be definitely up there contending for trophies. I'm 100% sure that.
You mentioned the culture. Duzi?
Yeah.
He's joined us. Yes, finally.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Duzi, thank you for joining us. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks, and yourself, Nick.
Yeah, very well, thank you. How's the lockdown treating you? I guess that you've only recently been able to sort of get out and about, and I know for you that's a very important thing. So how are you?
I'm actually pretty good. And the lockdown was a great time for us to just reflect on stuff and plan ahead when the lockdown is finally over. So it's been an interesting time for me, but I've really enjoyed it. Yeah.
And you mentioned planning ahead. A lot of pre-season work going on behind the scenes, but also it must be quite difficult considering that no one really knows what's happening or when seasons are going to start, etc.
Nick, sorry about that. couldn't hear you that well. Do you
Did
mind
you?
just
Did you?
repeating that for me, please?
Sorry, I just said that I know that you mentioned pre-planning and all of that for the new season, but the unknown is still there, that we don't necessarily know when the season's going to begin. That must be quite tough.
Yeah, Nick, I'm really struggling with the sound here. Do you mind just
Okay.
writing the question for me, if you don't mind?
Okay.
I don't know what's happening
Okay.
with the sound. You sound like you're mumbling. Sorry about that, eh?
Ron, can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so I'll just go to Ron quickly. So, just moving on from Doozy's question to you now, as a player, not necessarily knowing what's happening and the unknown of when the season's going to start. How difficult is that?
I think it's been pretty tough. Within the lockdown, it's always easy to keep fit, and that's the easy part. But I think the cricket part of it, you definitely don't really know where to start. Not where to start, but like where to go with it. So you don't want to get into things too quickly, but you also don't want to go too slow. So I think in that aspect, it's a little bit tough. But I think we've handled it quite well at the moment. Like, we've got a good balance between fitness and also keeping our cricketing skills up to scratch. So I think that we've actually been preparing really, really well at the Dolphins. I think we definitely a few steps ahead of the other franchises, and we've definitely got a good plan ahead with all the coaches. So in that aspect, it's been tough, but we've also, like, the communication from the coaches and the fitness trainers and everything has been very clear with us. So in that sense, I think it's been really, really good. Like, it's not been that bad for us.
Yeah, Doozy, I don't know if you can
Yeah,
hear
Nick,
me
sorry,
loud
I'm
and
only
clear.
seeing your question now. Is it hard to plan for the season ahead? I think, first of all, we needed to have a starting point. When would the season start? Make sure that the guys are training at the right time in terms of how we prep for the season. So we're glad that CSA has obviously given us dates in terms of when we're looking to start. And then obviously our focus has been to sort of work throughout the off-season and pre-season and ensure that we're ready for those starting dates. I hope you're able to hear me. Yeah.
I can hear you loud and clear. Unfortunately, I don't think it works both ways.
I can't
Ron,
hear you, Nick. I'm sorry. I'm being honest. I can hear Ruan, but not you. Sorry about that. It's gone.
okay. We'll make it. We'll work around that. So, Ron, I know you just mentioned that coming to Durban was probably one of the best decisions you made, sort of from your career perspective. And you also mentioned the cultures. Just talk me through what you've learned so far since you've been in Durban about the Dolphins culture, and how much more different is it to what you used to up in Pretoria.
So it's been really good. It's a very simple culture. Like, I can see it's a very, very hardworking culture, and I'm a very hardworking player as well. So it feels like I've settled in quite nicely with that, like, in terms of also hard work. And it's just like the values they have here is really, really, really good. And the goals that we've set within the team is really, really good as well. So I think that the culture here is like my type of culture. I've played at Northerns as well. So the culture with Northerns is more or less the same as what the Dolphins have at the moment. So it's not really been a tough transition to make. So I've really enjoyed the culture, and I think it's just going to go from strength to strength as well.
Guys, Davey, I'm going to step in very quickly while Nick is out. Doozy, can you hear me, by the way?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. There's bad news. Nick is going to get fired, I think.
I can hear you clearly.
Doozy, just tell me how you're connecting with the guys during the off-season. I mean, is it all on WhatsApp? Are you phoning the guys every day? And are you managing to stay in touch with whether the guys are, okay? Are they keeping it together during the lockdown?
Yes, the guys are definitely keeping it together. We had a couple of Zoom sessions, training sessions, and then obviously also discussions. Also, what we did was through Zoom, we also had a little closing off ceremony where guys obviously were at home, and we celebrated small victories and individual performances in that Zoom chat. And then obviously we planned ahead for the season coming up and how we would go about our training, which we've currently started, and obviously in smaller groups. And yeah, things have been going really, really well. And then as coaches, we also touch base with players on a one-on-one basis currently via phone, and then we've also had our one-on-ones with players, and just currently planning ahead for the season to come.
Doozy, tell me about your connection to the man next to you on the screen there, Ruan. That goes back away, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It actually goes. Ruan played at Affie's, and we met when he made the provincial side. I was part of the coaching staff at Northerns under 19 level. And the guys wanted to make history. They wanted to. Northerns hadn't won the competition Coke Week in a long time, and the guys achieved that. So we have really fond and great memories at Ruan where we won Coke Week. Not only did I have him as an under 19 player, but I was also involved with him at academy level, where he also performed really, really well, which was really exciting. And I'm super excited to have him in here at the Dolphins, because he's a guy that believes in winning. I'm massive on winning and having a mentality of going out there and giving you 100% and leaving nothing behind. And he's got that. He's the type of player that, I enjoy sort of working with, because he only sets high standards and he only wants the best for the team that he's involved with.
Now, you must have met him first as a proper lighty, a proper.
Yes.
I felt like, what was run, shut up and listen. What was he like? Did he honestly?
Listen, a special talent, a rugby player and a cricket player. One of a few. I think one of a few that have made SA schools rugby and cricket. So a special talent, but as I said, the attitude and the eagerness and the mindset of being a winner, absolutely great. And one thing I have to say, very humble guy, reserved and just hardworking. So yeah, Ruan is one of those guys that I've had great memories with. So yeah, sorry to make him sound like a superstar or something like that. Yeah.
Ruan, you come to the system at Affie's. I guess you play rugby and cricket, eh?
Yeah, no, you had to. There, it's all about sport. There is a bit of academics, but it was sport and academics. Just had to make sure that I get through everything, and then after that, it's been sport all along.
Tell me about the choice. You must have had at some stage sat down with everybody who's important to you and said, "Where do I go? Cricket or rugby?"
Yeah, no, it's been tough. I actually signed a contract with the Bulls in June of my matric year, saying that I was actually going to play rugby. And then I actually spoke to my mom just before our Coke Week and told her that, listen, I'm going to give this a shot, the Coke Week a shot, and see how it goes, actually. And then at that Coke Week, it seemed like the first day was not the best day, but after that, it seemed like I could literally do no wrong. And then I actually told my mom, listen, I think I've changed my mind. And we went on Cubs Week, and I got into the SA under 19 side. And then on that tour, I actually decided that, listen, I'm actually going to give the cricket a go. It feels like I've got more love for cricket than I actually did for rugby. And then I phoned the Bulls and told them, listen, that I've decided to withdraw my choice of choosing rugby. And then I got called into the academy at Northerns, and then things just kicked on from there. But in my heart, I think I always was going to choose cricket. I wanted to believe that I was going to be a rugby player, but all in all, it worked out pretty well so far, and I'm very excited for what the future will hold with the cricket as well.
Doozy, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Fantastic. Okay, so just talk me through your guys' relationship. I know your relationship with Ron goes back to Pretoria days when you were up at Northerns. Did you see a superstar in the making when you were working with him when he was a youngster?
Yes, I actually did. It was a special group of guys that believed in doing something special at that level. And I think that's one of the first steps for you to achieving a goal, is mentally being prepared for what has to come, and obviously having high standards. And I thought he had it. Not only was he involved, you see, the thing is, in matric, he won the Coke Week. In grade 11, he was also involved in that Coke Week side again. And what I saw there was a guy who said, okay, you know what? Coke Week, grade 11, we did okay. But matric, it's going to be special. And we're definitely going to make sure we win it. And it was in Port Elizabeth. The following year, it was in Bloemfontein. And the guys came out all guns blazing for the one that was in Bloemfontein. which the guys ended up winning. So just the mentality of saying, okay, we didn't win this one. Next year we're coming back harder. And we came back and obviously won that Coke Week, which was really, really good to watch.
And for you, your coaching career, spending time up at Northerns and then moving down here, how important was that time for you spending up there?
For me, it was really, really good. I would like to thank the guys that obviously played a massive role in aiding me growing as a coach. Mark Charlton took me under his wing as an assistant to him at semi-pro level. Peter Cronier, who was under 19, he also took me under his wing and helped me there. And then also the school I was involved in, the Pretoria Boys High, Dean Jefferson also helped me grow as a coach. So in terms of my growth, Northerns played a massive role in helping me and nurturing me going through that. Johan Muller, who was amateur manager at the time, also assisted and saw talent in me and pushed me up to under 19 level to help there. And then also gave me the opportunity to be involved in the academy. So in terms of the growth, for me, it was massive, massive at Northerns. And then finally, I was able to find my feet. And then I got the role this side. And it's just been growth from there. And I'm currently even growing now under Imran. So Northern's played a massive role, but I'm back home now. I'm looking to make a difference. Yeah.
That was it. You're a Durban boy, DHS boy, went up to the big city and then has now come back. Let's look back at your playing days and your career. Was cricket taking it to the next level? Was that ever an option for you or ever a thought?
Yeah, it definitely was an option and a thought for me. In high school, I was lucky and fortunate to make SA schools cricket. Afterwards, I then played at the academy here at the Dolphins. My performances weren't that good, so I decided I'd move up to study at the University of Pretoria, where I played for Tuck's first side. They did really, really well there with some quality players. And then after that, I actually stopped and focused on coaching. I got a little injury. I snapped my Achilles tendon. And then I decided, no, let me just go straight into coaching. And then I started coaching. And I've loved it ever since. And it's been a wonderful journey for me because I started with the grade R's. So I'm working at a school called Linwood Law, an Afrikaans school in Pretoria. And from grade R's, and I went step by step, under 9s, under 10s, under 11s, 13s. Then at under 13s, I then skipped and went all the way to under 19 and then moved forward from there. Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. Ron, now talk to me about Doozy as a coach. You mentioned a bit earlier off air that you guys share the same intensity. Is that something that you look at Doozy when you in a session and you think, well, he's going to push me as hard as possible?
Yeah, no, definitely. That's why I think me and Doozy clicked quite early in my career as well. Just before Coke Week, we had a lot of sessions together, and I felt like he would always push me even harder to push the boundaries. And yeah, he's just a very motivating guy, and he actually leads by example. Like, he sets the intensity for you as well. So it makes it easier for you as well. So you then know if you in with Doozy, you definitely in with the battle. And it feels like it's always a match situation. There's always that intensity. Doesn't matter what type of day he's at. If he's at training, he'll give his all, and he's always 100% there, and he backs you 100%. So it's been really, really good working with him, and I'm very excited to work with him again and just win a lot of trophies together again. I think that's the biggest thing for us, is definitely winning. I hate losing, so I'll do anything to make sure that we win.
Fair enough. You say that trophies are the ultimate goal, but let's look at you personally. I know your first season with the Dolphins, your first season permanently in a franchise squad. Playing as much franchise cricket must be the goal, I would assume, at this stage.
Yes, no, definitely. That is the ultimate goal, is playing as much franchise cricket, because the more franchise cricket you play, the more you can perform. And then if you perform at franchise level, then the rest will just take care of itself. You don't want to think too far ahead. I think if you stay in the present moment and just make sure that you do the little things off the field and on the field right, all of the other things don't really matter. So if you make sure that everything's in order, then yeah, the world is at your feet.
I know you mentioned to me a while ago when we chatted that you want to just pick up a couple of yards of pace with your bowling. How's that going? Have you been working on it in the last couple of weeks?
So we've actually only started with the skills now. Me and Quentin Friend, our bowling coach, actually spoke about it around about a week ago. He gave me a few drills that we're actually doing now with regards to explosiveness and just like hip drives and stuff like that. And I think that's going to be a really, really big asset to my bowling performances. And I think it's small little tweaks and small little skill works that you do that actually makes the biggest difference. So we haven't really had much time to work on that now. We're starting to get into it really, really big now. So I'm excited to see what happens. And it feels like it's the perfect like way to get that extra yard or so. Still keeping your skills, but get that extra yard just to make sure that everything works well.
I guess as an all-rounder, you want to be involved in the game as much as possible. When did you decide that you were going to be an all-rounder? You weren't going to be a batter or a bowler.
So I was actually a keeper in high school. I think the end of grade 10, I broke my finger, and then I couldn't really play cricket, and I was bored. I didn't want to sit in the hostel the whole day, so I would go to the cricket practice and just have a bowl, just play around with it. And then the coach is actually Peter Cronje that Doozy spoke about now, is the bowling coach for or he was the bowling coach for our Northerns on the 19th side, and he said that it looks like there's something that we can work with. And I said, you must just give me a chance to actually bowl in the game, because I was just bowling in the nets and they didn't want to give me a bowl, and we were down and out of it in one game. And I said, surely I can just have a chance to start bowling. And then it went really, really well with the bowling. And then after that, I just decided that is the role that I want to play. So I'm definitely working very hard on that, and I feel like I'm more involved in the game then. Like, I love to be involved in the game. I want to be involved the whole time. And the excitement of an all-rounder is also really, really good. You get two chances to perform to the best of your abilities. So definitely the best role to play for me.
Yeah. Doozy, you've just had your first season with the franchise side. Just talk to me about it. Talk to me about the learning curves that you've gone through as a coach throughout the season, and also working with guys that are on the brink of Proteas, but also Proteas in their own rights.
Yeah, I think it's been a wonderful story for myself individually, because when we first came in, we were under a bit of pressure. Obviously, didn't start off the season too well, and obviously with the help of Quinton Friend and Imran Khan, Nick Moffat and Gavin Moore, we were able to come together with something that we thought would help the team go forward. And obviously, the transition from 2019 to 2020 was absolutely beautiful, because we went through a really tough time in the beginning. And then to see the things that we try to implement go forward with the help of the players and buying into what we thought that would work moving forward played a massive role in us growing. So just imagine all the emotional and all the learnings that one goes through going through that experience. So, from losing games really bad, and then obviously at the end of the season winning a trophy. Obviously in the other formats, but in the 4-day, interesting thing with the Dolphins is they've never been a great outfit when it comes to 4-day cricket, and even now we're still learning how to win 4-day matches. So to see that transition in 2020, where the guys started finding a way to win 4-day matches, was wonderful to see, and it came with a lot of hard chats, and that comes with growth. So managing players more than coaching, obviously coming from academy level, and making sure guys are in a good space. And that was the transition for me, dealing with players' egos, building players, working on them on specific things, ensuring that they get what they need to ensure that they're prepared for the game. So holistic growth for me, and I've learned so much, and I'm still currently learning so much from being involved with such players. You get a guy like Keshav Maharaj, absolutely amazing when it comes to preparation and international, who's involved in our setup a lot. Miller also comes back now and again. Andile also good. And then you got your seasoned campaigners like Rob, who knows exactly what he needs to do. So just make sure you're topping him up, working with him. And then the exciting part is we've also got youngsters that have obviously come through, and you experience different types of plays that makes you grow as a coach. So I've absolutely loved it, and I'm super excited for what has to come. And we're just constantly growing all the time as a coaching staff, as individuals, and I'm sure as players are also constantly growing from the season, and obviously moving on to the next one.
Yeah. Ron, with a side that has just come off winning a trophy, has turned their fortunes around in 4-day cricket, there's going to be a lot of competition for places. There are quite a few all-rounders in that squad too. That's going to bring the best out of everyone in the squad, do you think?
Yeah, I think that's also a good thing. That competition also like motivates each other to work even harder and to say outperform each other, not like bring each other down, but like bring each other up and make sure that whoever gets the opportunity is really like well prepared and to make sure that they're ready for that opportunity. But it's always nice having a bit of competition around the setup because it also makes you like work even harder, and you can't just go into a game thinking that the next game I'm definitely going to play because there is no one else. So for me, that's really good. I love the competition side of it. It makes it even more interesting, and I'm really excited to see what's ahead in the season.
Doozy, how important is that for you guys as coaches? Bringing out that competitive nature in the guys, getting them competing against each other obviously in a good way, and getting that side of the players out, getting them working together, but also making sure that they know that they've got to be on top of the game at all times in order to play.
Yeah, I think we're in a fortunate situation where I'll give you an example of Darren de Pavlon. We've sort of come up with something that we've hold each other accountable for, and that is to obviously for guys to raise their standards and get call-ups to for higher honors. That gives opportunities to guys underneath them, but the guys that are underneath them need to make sure they're constantly pushing the guys ahead of them, and not playing through injury, but playing through good performance at the lower level and obviously moving up and getting into the side. I think it's a great headache we're going to have as coaching staff because we've got a really strong group of players this coming season. And excellent. I mean, competition breeds excellence. So that obviously gets everybody to up their standards. I don't want to obviously give out secrets, but the guys in terms of their results in fitness tests and fitness sessions has been next level. I feel like we wanted to breach the gap between the guys that are more underneath, and get them to raise the bar with the guys that are obviously excelling, and then cut that gap down and make sure that everybody's at a high standard. So I think it's really exciting. There's no one you can look at the squad and say they don't stand a chance to be in that starting 11. So everybody's obviously going to be giving their best, and everybody has to be on top of the game. So we're super excited to see what has to come. But
yeah,
a great space we're in right now.
Let's go back to that question that just came up there. It says, who are those iconic fielders that you use as models for your players as a coach?
John T. Rhodes, obviously, South African, one of the best fielders of all time. I think Ricky Ponting is also amazing. Raina from India and Jadeja from India. You look at fielders like Michael Clark. He was really good. So what I do is I go on the internet and I research a lot of fielders and see how they move. I try to implement that. One of the things that I learned from the last season was that I can't take it for granted or assume that franchise players have got the basics when it comes to the actual skill. So a lot of work has to be done on the actual skill. So I actually spend a lot of time on YouTube. I also use my creativity to come up with things that can enhance the skills of the guys. And yeah, so there's quite a few guys that I actually go and I research and check how they feel. Yeah.
Ron, going into the season now, coming off the back of the season you had, sort of making that position in the middle order of the Dolphins your own, and also contributing with the ball. Those are the ultimate goals. But I guess a 4-day trophy, if you could contribute to a 4-day trophy for the Dolphins, would that be the ultimate for the season?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think 4-day wins don't really come often. So you need to make sure that it actually becomes a habit. Like, it's tough to get a result in 4 days, but I'll definitely do my bit and do all I can to make sure that us as a team are well prepared and know what we want to do. I think we've got all the right players for that. We've got a really good all-round group for the 4-day competition as well as a 1-day competition. So I'm just really excited to see what's in store for us this season. We're working very, very hard in this off season, so I think we're going to be prepared for when the season starts, and then whoever's in our way needs to watch out.
And then from you, finally, just tell me about the golf handicap. You've managed to get a couple rounds, and since you've been down here, has the golf handicap gone down at all?
So I'm actually playing off a 3 at the moment, but golf here in Durban is a bit different to Pretoria, so it's taken a while to adapt to the conditions here. Not as much wind in Pretoria as there is here in Durban, but really enjoying it. It's a nice way to just forget about everything and just not think about the cricket and just catch up with a few mates as well. So really enjoying that as well. And we've got a big group of guys who play golf. So we have a few interim competitions that we also play. So it's been really good.
Awesome. And then Doozy, just one final comment from you. Are the guys going to sweat when you get back out there properly for the preseason?
Yeah, best believe that. They're going to be working hard. But the last thing with them is that they're actually holding each other accountable for that. So it's really, really a good space where we're at. So the guys are actually pushing each other. But definitely they're going to sweat when we get going.
Fantastic, guys. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And we'll catch up soon, hopefully, when we start getting going and everyone can sort of meet up again.
Thanks so
Perfect.
much, Nick. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks for having us.
Cheers, guys. And then currently running the Bowl Out Hunger campaign. That's going to kick off this weekend on Mandela Day on the 18th of July. It is a campaign where they're going to go to all of their hubs and RPCs and try and give back during this tough time. We know that the current coronavirus pandemic is causing havoc amongst our vulnerable communities. And so KZN Cricket have partnered up with a number of sponsors, and they're going to be delivering food parcels to all 15 hubs and RPCs around KZN. That's from Mlazi all the way up to Pongola to Newcastle. So we're calling upon all of you guys, watchers, fans, and supporters of KZN Cricket to please donate to the cause. The banking details are going to be posted onto the Dolphins' social media accounts after this. You can donate as much as you like. A parcel costs 300 Rand, and that includes a number of staple items for the people that they're going to be going to. So we're going to be supporting the cricket community because they're the ones who support us. So please, if you can, have a look on the Dolphins Facebook page, Instagram page, or Twitter account and make a donation towards the cause. It's going to be kicking off this weekend on the 18th. As I said, Mandela Day at the Mlazi hub, and they're going to be visiting the other 14 hubs along the way. So please get online, make your donations. Every single cent is going to count. And once again, thank you so much for joining me, Nick Tatham, on The Leading Edge. We're going to catch you again next week with 2 more guests. Have a great evening and stay warm.
The show is about the fans, for the fans.
As a youngster and as you get older, if you have the base and the fundamental.
How's it guys? Tatham here. Just finished up training now with
We got back probably at the age of 3 and we're passing a rugby ball. About 12 seasons of Premier Club cricket.
It's been a fantastic season so far for us as the Dolphins. A really good season so far. We've got good momentum in this one-day competition.
Really performing well, bowlers, batters and fielders.
Doing the camp is really good. Guys are really focused.